What's up guys, it's your boy Kidamaki. In today's video we're gonna talk about One for All and All for One. And yeah, I know you guys must be tired of hearing about them, but I think it's relevant to what is going on in the manga right now with Shigaraki going on the hunt for One for All. So I think it's important for us to know why Shigaraki will be able to take One for All and why All for One couldn't. So let's go. Alright, so this should be a short video because there's not much to go off of, and I'm not going to waste your time with fillers in an effort to extend the duration of the video. I'm just going to put forward my thesis and evidence I've gathered to support it from the manga and the Heroes Rising movie, which came out earlier this year. Now, All for One's mission for many decades now has been to take One for All for himself, and we can assume that he has at least tried on multiple occasions, but for some reason, some unknown reason, he was never able to. So that got me thinking, why? Why wasn't he able to take One for All from any of the prior users, and why will Shigaraki be able to according to Dr. Garaki? The answer to this came in the form of 9 from the Heroes Rising movie. Now it has been stated by, I believe, Funimation that the movie is not canon to the manga, but in my opinion I believe that aspects of the movie could very well impact the main storyline going forward. And one such aspect could be why 9, whom had a pseudo version of All for One, wasn't able to take One for All from Deku. Now this is a rare case where we don't need to speculate or theorize as to why 9 wasn't able to take One for All, because he literally just told us in typical villain fashion. Now as stated by 9, the real reason why he wasn't able to take One for All was because when he tried to, he detected that Deku had more than one quirk and he only had space for one. And yes, 9 has 8 quirks and he's only able to hold 9, which is why he's called 9. So as you can see, they are very creative. Now if we put 2 and 2 together, we could say that since this is why 9 wasn't able to take One for All from Deku, this could also be the reason why All for One wasn't able to take One for All from the previous users. However, there's no data to suggest that there was a limit to how many quirks All for One could hold at the same time, but we also don't have any data that implies that there wasn't a limit to how many quirks he could hold at the same time. So there's a high chance that there was a limit based on what we know now. Furthermore, I'd like to believe that All for One is a smart fellow just based on his accomplishments as a super villain. So being All for One the greatest crime boss in history, he should have been able to figure out that in order to steal One for all he needed to do was create space by disposing of some of his other quirks. That seems to be the only logical conclusion, so why didn't he? Well, that's assuming that he didn't, but there's a high possibility that he did but it still didn't work. So that begs the question, why? Why wasn't he able to take One for All if it wasn't a space issue? Well, it could be that he just wasn't able to take more than one quirk at the same time, regardless of whether or not he had the space for it. This would mean that there's a limit to what All for One can actually do. But if this is actually why All for One wasn't able to take One for All, then that leads me to believe that All for One has been intentionally allowing One for All to be passed on to the next user. But why would he do that? Well, simple. In order to give himself time to figure out how to break the limits of his quirk and steal One for All for himself, with Dr. Garaki's help of course. And not only that, when he does eventually get One for All, whether it be for Shigaraki or himself, it will be way more powerful than it was at inception due to quirk singularity. And we also have to remember that All for One has had chance after chance to end a One for All user before they pass on the quirk, but instead of doing that, he allows them to do it and then allows the new user to get away. This even happened at Kamino. All for One knew that Deku had One for All. He knew Deku's full name, which means that he knows where he lives. Yet he never pursued him, he never attacked him, he instead fought All Might and allowed Deku to escape. But again, why? That's because he knew that he wasn't ready to take One for All. Well, All for One wasn't ready. And remember that the version of All for One had when he fought All Might was a duplicate. He gave the original version of All for One to Dr. Garaki for him to enhance it and give it to Shigaraki when he's ready. However, what we don't know is when he decided to switch out All for One with a less powerful duplicate in order to begin experimenting. In my opinion, this must have started when he fought All Might and lost his head. After seeing how his body was destroyed and in this unrecoverable state, he decided to take a duplicate which would allow him to still have his powers while Dr. Garaki works on enhancing the original All for One. Now that's what I call a brilliant plan. Now as you can see, the Doctor did indeed break the limits of All for One. It now has the power to take One for All as stated by Dr. Garaki. And as you can see in the latest chapter, Shigaraki has now awakened and he's on the hunt for One for All, which will be pretty interesting. So again, to recap, All for One wasn't able to take One for All from the previous users because he either didn't have enough space for multiple quirks within All for One, or All for One just wasn't able to take more than one quirk at the same time, and apparently One for All is an all-in-one package. But yeah, that's just what I think. However, let me know what you guys thought of the video down below in the comment section. Do you agree with anything I said, or do you have a theory of your own you'd like to share with us? If so, just drop it down below and we'll take a look at it. Anyways guys, if you did enjoy the video, please drop a like down below, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell to be notified of all my future uploads, as I will be uploading more My Hero Academia and Boruto/Naruto content. So hopefully I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.